talked about Shamatha and Vipassana yesterday, and after we established the practice Shamatha, we can begin the practice of Vipassana meditation. So the reason why Vipassana is necessary to practice is that we undergo a different of experience, including the experience of what are the perceived as external appearance and the experience of mental events or inner states, such as a mental pleasure, mental suffering, and the different emotions. All inner and outer experience without exception are the confused projections of our mind. So through meditation, when you look directly at the mind's nature, you can come to have direct experience of the mind's nature. You might say that the mind must be empty if you investigate and about the selflessness. So mind must be empty, so I'm going to discover emptiness, or I must be clear that this idea. Sometimes people say, I'm going to discover. We say mind is empty and clear, right? So people say, I'm going to discover the cognitive clarity and all. I'm going to discover the empty of the mind. So these ideas are actually not so bad, of course, but they are not appropriate in the situation of meditation, because they do not lead to realization, since they themselves are separated from direct experience. So when you are looking at the mind directly, you are seeing its nature. You don't have to think, I'm going to discover empty, discover clarity. You don't think, you don't say that. If you really looking at the mind directly, you are just seeing that mind is the nature, which you can call emptiness, or selflessness, or egolessness, or whatever. The main point is you just need to see directly, right? The mind, looking at the mind really directly, then you will see, you will see its nature. If you understand, if you recognize that nature, then you can call it emptiness or its clarity, whatever. You simply need to keep on looking at it. That's all. It's very simple. Vipassana and Shamatha meditation, you just need to keep looking at your mind. There is nothing else that needs to be done. So it is best to look at it, and then when your mind starts to become sort of tired, then to rest, right? And then to go back to looking at the mind and then rest, like that, you know, and so on. Just very easy. Just to let go everything is then no problem, not difficult actually, because it's your mind, right? It's your mind. You can work with easily, but your thoughts arise and then you worry and you follow. Then you can't see the mind. You can't see its nature. So if you are beginner, thoughts arise, just let go, rest in it, and just look in directly, and then thoughts arise, let go, do that again, hundreds of thousands times, you know, without expectation, without worry, without, you know, hope. Just to let go and then meditate on it, and your thoughts come, let go, meditate on it, just let go, do that again and again, and then more you do this, you will more sort of stable and more, what you call it, familiarize at your nature, the nature mind. So sometimes the first time, like a beginner, it's very difficult. Just maybe 1 second you can meditate on it, then your thoughts arise. But do again. The key point is you should not lose your confidence. You know, even though you have difficult to practice, just to do again, and eventually one day you can. That's we need to know. That's we need to do. Meditation is actually not so difficult. There are so many methods you can use, right? And so just to work with your mind, and the thoughts are very strange. It's really, if you meditate on it, just they're just come and just go. It's just if you really meditate on like that, the thoughts can't bother you actually. Just you have to let go. That's all. Let go. That's all. Then your meditation will be no problem. Most we have problem. Our problem is, you know, follow the thoughts. Think about yesterday and future, and follow, right? Follow. Sometimes you don't recognize your thoughts. You are thinking like maybe 1 minute, and then, oh, I'm thinking. Then you start, you know, notice. Otherwise, you know, but beginners, you really meditate on just your thinking, and you can recognize what you are doing. Just to think and follow your thought. But if you do this again and again, and then eventually when your thoughts arise, you immediately recognize, oh, thoughts, and let go, and then just rest on that. And so now I'm going to talk about the remember yesterday we talked about the explanation of Vipassana meditation is divided into five parts, right? The first is the prerequisite conditions of Vipassana. Second is different forms of Vipassana. Third is a category of nature of Vipassana. We already talked about those three things. Now I'm going to talk about the last two. One is the methods of Vipassana, right? And the other one is accomplishment of Vipassana. So, in order to practice Vipassana, it is necessary to have the viewpoint of the absence of self. And without this viewpoint, we cannot develop genuine Vipassana meditation. In order to understand the absence of self, remember yesterday we little bit talk about the six reasons, the sixth reason. Remember yesterday how we investigate external and internal. So that's how you need to investigate the self. Because the self is the foundation of everything. We have attachment, we have ignorance, we have anger, we have jealousy. All this comes from the self. Right? If we think the self exists, then of course others exist. They depends each other. Big and small, right? Small, if small exists, because why? Because big exists. So self, if you think self exists, then others exist. Then lots of problem. So we need to investigate in order to practice the Vipassana. And therefore, we have to develop this understanding of the absence of self. We don't have understanding of the what the meditation should be directed at. We are like a person without arms, trying to hold onto the side of a club. You know. So that's not good. Viewpoint, right view, in order to practice Vipassana. Right view is very important. What is the right view? The selflessness of self and selflessness of phenomena. Also, if we are learned and have studied and understood the view of the absence of self, but have not meditated on it, we are like what do you call it? Miser with great wealthy who cannot use any of it, right? Because of the what do you call it? Stinginess. Then you have lots of money for what? If you can't use it, not good. Like that, you understand about the absence of self. You understand the selflessness, but you are not meditating on it. What is the point? Intellectually, of course, it's very easy to understand when you investigate self. Very easy. Where is the self? Outside the body? Inside the body, between both, color, shape, many ways you can investigate. First investigate, then you have to meditate on that right away. And if you investigate and then you are kind of afraid, oh, I lose my life or what, because you just understand there is no self, and then no meditate, then you get this sort of panic, you know, afraid. Oh, No, I'm not going there. But if you just investigate and then you meditate on it right away, it feels really good. So, to first understand, right? First understand and then practice it. To develop the view of the absence of self, you need to study the teaching of both selflessness and selflessness of phenomena. Then analyze and complete them, and then you rest on your mind on it. Focus on that view and you will realize the emptiness. Vipassana is actually about emptiness, right? If you understand how to analyze, how to investigate self, then you will find the emptiness, right? So that's the point. That's the point. If you investigate both this selflessness and selflessness phenomena, the result is the emptiness. You have to meditate on emptiness, right? Otherwise, you just understand intellectually, but you can't find the emptiness, the right, the emptiness you cannot find if you don't meditate on it. That's the key point. So, we need, this is the, I'm talking about the methods of Vipassana, right? So both we need analytical and non-analytical meditation, right? Too much analytic meditation will reduce your stability, right? Therefore, must relax the mind in a non-analytic state of meditation, right? Too much non-analytic meditation will diminish the clarity of mind, and you begin to sort of sink into dullness. Yeah. Developing both clarity and stability will make the mind very powerful. Generally, we first to analyze phenomena in understanding of the view, and having done that, then rest the mind in non-analytic meditation. Right? What we need to understand about emptiness. So it alternately, sometimes when you meditate Shamatha and Vipassana together, sometimes you have to analyze, and then too much analyze, not good, right? And then rest. Do that alternately. Then you will find the emptiness. And you will find emptiness, and you meditate on emptiness, you will find then clarity. Emptiness is the result of your investigate selflessness in selflessness phenomena. And clarity is, if you meditate on emptiness, you will see, you will experience, you will recognize the clarity or awareness or wisdom. So these are really sort of not separated each other, actually. If we really understand correctly how to meditate on this, then they are just you find one, then you find another one there. So emptiness is the essence of Dharma teachings, because it is the way we eliminate all the mind afflictions and faults, right? That's the best antidote. Well, there are many antidotes. Like, for instance, if you are angry, you can practice patience, right? But these are just temporary, we call temporary antidotes. The best antidote, if you want to completely diminish afflictions, you have to meditate on emptiness. That's ultimate. To understand emptiness, it is important to understand about selflessness. So selflessness and emptiness are very important. But emptiness can become an obstacle to our understanding of karma and our practice of good actions, because we may think emptiness, everything is emptiness, nothing exists, so I don't need to practice dharma. So there, there is no virtues and no non-virtues, because everything is emptiness. So if I kill this animal, what? It's emptiness. That there is a danger involved in this teaching on emptiness. That's why this kind of meditation keeps secret, right? It's not very common, not how you call it, not popular. In Tibet, the beginner, usually we are not teaching about emptiness. Sometimes they misunderstood. We teach about really the four thoughts that turn your mind. It's precious human life, impermanence life, cause and karma, all this we usually teach about this. But eventually, if the people are ready to practice about emptiness, then of course. So it's good, and it's sometimes misunderstood. It's very be careful. When you practice about emptiness without compassion, then it's possible this danger, just I told you. So that's why Mahayana practitioners always they practice the union of compassion and emptiness, not separate. Then there is no problem. Emptiness helps all the afflictions, diminish all your afflictions, and compassion helps how you say, you care others, and also helps the cause in karma. Because you understand about compassion, you understand other living beings so important in your life. So this is the methods of Vipassana. In order to understand Vipassana, the viewpoint is the understanding of emptiness. So how we understand emptiness? There are two ways. One way is just your teacher point out your nature mind, right? Without teaching, just point out. Then you just realize, you just recognize the nature mind. That's the one way. The another way is like you practice middle way, the Madhyamaka. You have to understand all these cause and conditions and investigate selflessness. You intellectually understand through practice, and then meditate on that. That's another way. So two ways you will understand. You can learn about emptiness. But this one is really good. First, you have to investigate, external and internal phenomena, how they exist, what is cause and conditions, how they appear. All this you need to understand through the study about Madhyamaka. And that's the method of Vipassana meditation. Understand? Correct view. And the last part of Vipassana is accomplishment of Vipassana. The great master Adisha says that the mind of past has ceased to exist, and the mind of the future has not come into exist. So the present mind is difficult to examine because it has no color, no shape, no location. So it is just like a space. It is not one, or it is not many things. Right? Even though it is empty, the clarity of mind never ceases. So the mind has no true existence as a thing because we cannot find it. If you investigate, we can't find it. Not only can't we find the mind, but also the Buddha can't either. That is the intrinsic nature. You can't say why Buddha can't find the mind. Therefore, it is not true existence. We may think that if the mind does not exist as a thing, then it must be non-existent. But the mind is not non-existent because it is the base of samsara and nirvana, right? So it is not non-existent because of all the appearance of samsara and the way samsara arises in the mind. Remember, mind is the root of everything. Also the attainment of nirvana, the knowledge of the true nature and of the difference of phenomena develops from the mind. Therefore it is non-existence. So there is also no contradiction. If you think mind is not non-existent or mind is non-existent, then what is it? There is no contradiction in saying that it is neither existence nor non-existent because it is without elaboration. So that's why this is if you really understand the nature mind, it is not nihilism, right? Not eternalism. Because mind is not existence and non-existence. So it is elaboration. We call it elaboration. Very important to understand. This is the middle way. which is the free from extremes of existence and non-existence. That is the true, or what do you call it, intrinsic nature of our mind. So this really helps. If you think mind is not exist, then we lose everything? No. Because all this appearance due to through your mind, right? You never lose your essence of your life, even though you investigate the mind, investigate selflessness. Because this is the mind is base of samsara and nirvana. You never lose. It's liberation. It's everything. It's possible because liberation, because the emptiness. Very important. So we rest in meditation in this way, and this is how great masters describe the meditation and the way we should practice. So when doing Vipassana meditation, there is no mental or physical difficulty. This is the sign of the accomplishment of Vipassana meditation. Another meditation is about the union of Shamatha and Vipassana. We cannot achieve enlightenment with just Shamatha meditation. We also cannot achieve enlightenment with just Vipassana meditation. So what is necessary is to study Shamatha by itself first. Remember, I mentioned yesterday about this. And then study Vipassana by itself, and then practice the union of Shamatha and Vipassana to reach final enlightenment when you are ready. First, really, we don't know how long we will stay in this samsara. Otherwise, if I know when you will die, then if you have time, I say, first you should definitely practice Shamatha, and then practice Vipassana. Like for instance, I said 10 years practice Shamatha only. If I know, and then 10 years practice Vipassana, and then 10 years together. The union of Shamatha and Vipassana, and 30 years, right? That's fine. My third root teacher always let do this. Shamatha, you this much you have to practice this and this. He just said, exactly. And then my second root teacher, well, I don't know when you will die. So if you die very soon, then only practice Shamatha. It's not good. Not good. You cannot eliminate all your negative emotions through practice Shamatha. So you should practice both. He said that. But really, most Tibetan teachers, they really know. If they really want you take care as your student, and they really know, and they will tell you, this much you practice this, then you practice this, and it's just to say exactly. But we don't know when we will going to die. That's the main thing, right? We don't know when. No guarantee. So I think I usually say practice Shamatha and Bodhicitta together. Usually I do that for my students, because that way you can you can also establish your Shamatha meditation, and you also have a great Bodhicitta, great compassion, then doesn't matter, you really don't recognize the nature of your mind before you die. That's fine. Because of your bodhicitta. If there is a next life, your bodhicitta definitely help you, the compassion. Then no problem. And if you are not die, then you established shamatha and bodhicitta, then practice vipassana. You have time, right? So there is no dangers, I think. You know, many times I told you guys, right? Don't practice only shamatha. We don't know when we die. But shamatha is necessary. Without shamatha practice, we can't do anything because of our mind. So the crazy mind, the monkey mind, right? It's difficult to take care. So shamatha really helps, really make you calm and peace. And then practice bodhicitta, union of shamatha and bodhicitta practice. That's really good. Because we all really like to practice about emptiness. This science is really, you are Mahayana practitioners. If you really want, you really like, you interest, practice about emptiness. So that means you are Mahayana's practitioner. So in that case, you have to have a bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the foundation of Mahayana practice. So it's very important to know that. And all those Tibetan masters agree that we first need to calm mind. That's the first. That is the first. And then we will be able to develop the insight of Vipassana. Right? And that these two practices are not separated but are a union. Eventually we have to practice the union of these two, shamatha and vipassana. The union means that shamatha and vipassana are not coexisting with each other, but instead it is impossible to make difference between them. Guru Yoga, the union, right? Union means really not separated, not contradicted. When meditation is stable, the mind rests in its nature stability. Sometimes thoughts arises and the mind is then in movement, right? Then we look to see what is the nature of the movement of the mind. This is not using analytical reasoning and logic, but having a direct experience of the nature of mind at rest in movement. So it is so important to understand. So that is the union of practice shamatha and vipassana. When you are ready, okay? So now we're going to meditate. Today, this section, I think, will meditate a little bit about shamatha. I mean, what do you prefer? What should we practice meditation same as yesterday, or you want shamatha practice and then do the other one? What?
What do you think?
It depends you. If you have a difficulty, just to sit and look at the nature mind directly, and sometimes people can't do that. It's first you need to really calm and peaceful mind, and then you can do, right? Some people just can't, you know. So I think maybe in this section we should practice about shamatha, and then the other section we should do practice shamatha and vipassana together. Yeah? All right? Very good. So I give you, most of you know, and you have done this practice, but maybe some of you don't know, so it's very important to know. This is part of the Vipashyana practice and shamatha meditation. We call 3 channels. It's Vipashyana teaching. So it's really good with practice shamatha and vipassana. So if you don't know about these 3 channels, you have to visualize. All right, visualize 3 channels in your body. So they are left and right, and then center. Do you know this? You know? Don't know? Don't know? Okay. I will explain you then maybe shortly. So 3 channels in your body: left, right, and center. According to Tibetan, right is this side is right, it's left. Okay. Well, if you say anyway. Okay, so left and right channel, these 2 are start at your nostrils, right? At your nostrils, from your nostrils, and circle around the top of your eye like this, and down center of your body on the right and left, until they reach the bottom of the torso. At this point, they merge together into the central channel and goes up towards the heart. All right, and start by breathing in, right in your nostril, your through your nose. Visualize your breath moving into the left and right channels, and down your torso until it reaches the central channel. Central channel is here, right? Central channel, and then moves up towards the heart center. So when you do this practice, you are not just visualizing the channel and breath. As you settle into the practice, you actually become the channel with breath. At the end of the breath gets close to heart center, let your mind and breath dissolve into that space and simply relax in that space as much as you can. Understand? No? Yes?
Do you exhale till they join, inhale till they join and then exhale to the heart?
No.
All on the inhale?
Yep. And at this point, you don't have focus on how you exhale. Just when you inhale and then your breath goes into the two channels and then merge into central channel and then just dissolve in the heart center, and that there is a peacefulness there. And then you have to meditate on that. And then when you're ready to exhale, of course, just to do it gently, and then start again, inhale. Understand? All right. Very important. Your breath, very gentle and slowly. And then breathe out very gently. But the key point in here, right now, I'm saying that when you breathe in, goes up and then dissolve into your heart. Reach to heart center, heart chakra. Dissolve, right? Dissolve in that space, and then relax, right? Don't follow your thoughts. Understand? Any question? All right. Let's do that. All right. 20 minutes. You can take a break if you want. Within 20 minutes. If you don't want, that's fine. So this is we called practice shamatha with object. The union, kind of the union or together shamatha with object and objectless shamatha. First you visualize your breath in central channel, right? And at the end your breath channels dissolve into your heart center and then just rest. That's what we call objectless shamatha. So this is kind of together practice shamatha, object with object and without object shamatha. All right? Correct your motivation. And then relax your mind, your body.